It was never in my plan to get married because my father always told me that I don't need a man to complete me. As soon as I graduated college, I dedicated all of my efforts and attention to establishing my career. I did my best to make a mark in the industry and to have a title for myself. With that, at a young age, I was able to have a successful position in the corporate world. My skills in digital solutions and data analysis paved the way for me to be one of the best people on our team. In fact, because of these skills that I have, I was able to travel the world, expand my network, learn different things, and even meet new people that are successful in the same field that I am. In short, I was thriving independently. And I am so happy with it because I get to decide for myself and I get to live my life according to my terms. But then I met Kevin. He was the newly installed supervisor of our office. At first, I only see him as our boss, but as days goes by, I felt that his treatment towards me was different compared to the other employee. He would talk to me on the phone and even ask me out on dates that I sometimes agreed, until I developed feelings. But I tried to stop it because I don't want people to gossip about me and our relationship. But he was persistent and the inevitable happened. He confessed and asked me to be his girlfriend, and I happily agreed. The days of my life were once filled with the radiant glow of love and hope as Kevin and I began our journey together. Aside from being our boss, he was a divorced man, wounded by past relationship, and I was drawn to his charismatic charm and gentle demeanor. And on top of that, we have a 30-year age gap that truly frowned people's brows whenever they heard that. But I started to ignore other people's gossip. Kevin was able to change my perspective on marriage, and he made me feel excited about starting a family because he showed me what true love is. However, there were times that I would sulk into sadness whenever I heard people saying that I'm only using Kevin for money and that they would label me as a gold digger, which is completely false. But then again, we continued to thrive individually in our career, and after a year of dating, Kevin finally put out the ring and asked my hand for marriage. We were sitting in a fine dining restaurant, our hands intertwined as we sat across each other. Our eyes were glistening and our hearts were filled with love. Kevin was looking at me intently, and I couldn't feel more in love with this man.
Grace, my love, I have something important to ask you.
My heart skipped a bit. I was nervous, but eager to hear what he was going to say. Yes, Kevin. Kevin took a deep breath, his expression serious yet filled with love.
You know, when I went through my divorce, I thought I would never find love again. I felt lost and broken. But then you came into my life, Grace. You brought light, joy, and a love that I never thought possible.
My eyes welled up with tears, touched by his heartfelt words and sincere love. I could feel my eyes welling up, and my voice started to tremble. Kevin.
No, let me finish. Age has taught me many things, but it has also shown me that love knows no bounds. The 30-year age gap between us doesn't matter to me, Grace. It doesn't define us. What truly matters is the connection we share, the way you make me feel alive, and the love that grows stronger every day.
My eyes sparkled with hope and love, my heart swelling with anticipation. I could feel the excitement in my heart as the tears in my eyes were slowly falling. Kevin, you've brought so much happiness into my life. I never thought I could find someone who sees me for who I truly am, beyond appearances and societal expectations.
You're the most beautiful person I have ever known, inside and out. And today, right here, right now, I want to make a promise to you, my beloved.
My breath caught as I waited with bated breath. He pulled out a ring box and I gasped. And I finally broke it. I cried as he knelt before me.
Grace, the love of my life, Will you do me the incredible honor of becoming my wife? Will you share your life with me, facing the world together through the ups and downs with love and unwavering support?
My eyes welled up with tears of joy as Kevin opened the ring box, revealing a stunning engagement ring. Diamonds! Oh, Kevin, yes! 1,000 times yes! Kevin's face lit up with pure happiness as he slid the ring onto my finger, sealing our love and commitment. The people around us cheered and extended their congratulations. My heart was so full that night. We shared a tight embrace and he kissed me so tenderly.
I love you, Grace. You have brought meaning back into my life, and I promise to cherish and love you for the rest of the days.
Our love was overflowing as the room filled with an aura of joy and celebration, and truly I could say that we fell in love. Our hearts entwined, and for a time it seemed like nothing could shatter the blissful world we had created. After 5 months of preparation, we finally walked down the aisle, professed our vows, and sealed our love with the sacred anointing of the church. Everything was so perfect. We moved in together and I was so happy living this life with him. Our place was big and we even had maids that helped us with our daily chores. Kevin and I tried to have a child immediately, but due to health concerns and unfavorable circumstances, we weren't blessed yet. And unexpectedly, as the years passed, the cracks in our foundation began to show. The 30-year age gap between us became a festering wound for Kevin, a constant reminder of his mortality, and he sought refuge from his fears in the fleeting comforts of other women. I became comfortable in our relationship and I was so devoted to my career that I sometimes don't have time for my husband, and with that, he started to cheat. I was devastated each time I discovered his infidelity, but I clung to the hope that he would change and that our love could weather any storm. But as time wore on, it became evident that Kevin's love for me was superficial, built solely upon the foundation of my physical appearance. My once youthful beauty had begun to fade with age, and he treated me as if I were nothing more than a trophy wife whose purpose has lost its luster. His insults became household words. It sounded so familiar to me because there were no days that he won't mistreat me with abusive words. One day, I stood by the kitchen counter chopping vegetables for dinner, and Kevin entered, his face contorted with a cruel smirk. I know that he came home drunk and late last night smelling like another woman's perfume.
What's the matter, Grace? Can't even chop a simple vegetable properly? You're so clumsy, always making mistakes.
I flinched, my hands trembling as I continued chopping. Kevin, please, I'm trying my best.
Your best? It's never good enough, is it? Look at you, a pathetic excuse for a wife. No wonder I can't stand being around you.
Tears welled up in my eyes. My shoulders slumped under the weight of Kevin's relentless bullying. Why do you treat me like this, Kevin? What have I done to deserve your cruelty?
You've done nothing, Grace. Absolutely nothing. You're just an aging, unattractive woman. I'm ashamed to be seen with you.
My heartache turned into a flicker of defiance. My voice filled with a newfound strength. I refuse to let your words define me, Kevin. I am more than my appearance. I am worthy of respect and kindness. He laughed mockingly at me.
Respect? Kindness? Do you think anyone could respect someone like you? You're a joke, Grace.
I took a deep breath, my eyes filled with determination. No, Kevin, the joke is you. You bully and belittle me because you're insecure and unhappy with yourself. But I won't let your words break me anymore. I will rise above this. Kevin's laughter fades, his face contorted with anger. He slapped me in the face, made me gasp in pain. He shouted at me and even grabbed me by the chin.
You think you can stand up to me? You're nothing without me, Grace. You'll always be a loser.
No, Kevin, I may have tolerated your bullying for too long, but not anymore. I will no longer allow you to strip away my self-worth. I deserve to be treated with kindness and respect, and I will find the strength to leave this toxic relationship. I pushed him away, and I walked out from the kitchen, my head held high, leaving Kevin seething with anger. This was the first time I talked back to him because I have had enough of his constant mistreatment of me. But it didn't change him. It made him worse. He kept on insulting me about my body, looks, and complexion. He would also say that he regretted marrying me. The turning point came when I found undeniable evidence of his affair with our maid, a young and seductive woman whose allure had ensnared him in her web of deceit. The betrayal cut me to the core, shattering what little remained of my self-esteem. I felt like a discarded object tossed aside when it no longer served its purpose. Determined not to be a passive victim, I sought to confront Kevin about his treachery. His reaction was far from remorseful. Instead, he turned the tables on me, accusing me of driving him to seek solace in the arm of other women. His words were a bitter twist of reality, a testament to the delusions he had woven to justify his shortcomings. The pain of his betrayal was unbearable, and I knew I couldn't continue living in the shadow of his disdain. But as I prepared to confront him and put an end to our marriage, fate intervened on his birthday, a day that would change everything. On that fateful day, he presented me with a drink, and an unusual display of affection accompanied his gesture. A glimmer of hope flickered within me. Perhaps he was finally seeing the error of his ways. Perhaps he wanted to make amends. Yet a small voice inside me urged caution, reminding me of the countless lies and betrayals that had tainted our once beautiful love story. Then a loyal maid who had witnessed the deceitful actions of the seductive maid approached me in secret and whispered a chilling truth into my ear. The seductive maid had plotted to drug me with the contents of the drink, rendering me powerless against Kevin's desires. It was a scheme to put me under his control to ensure that I remained the submissive trophy he desired. At that moment, a fire ignited within me, fueled by a sense of injustice and the desire to break free from the shackles of his manipulation. With determination and a touch of cunning, I switched the drinks, placing the tainted one before him instead. As he took a sip, a sudden tremor seized his body, his hands shaking uncontrollably. Panic spread across his face as he struggled to comprehend what was happening to him. The seductive maid rushed to his side, fumbling to administer the antidote she had prepared for her twisted plan. In that electrifying moment, with all eyes on him, I seized the opportunity to unveil his true nature to everyone present. I recounted the years of mistreatment, the heartache, and his relentless attempts to belittle me and destroy my self-worth. The room fell silent, the weight of the truth palpable in the air. The once proud and arrogant Kevin stood before the crowd, his carefully constructed facade crumbling like a house of cards. The humiliation etched on his face was a bittersweet victory, a stark contrast to the charming veneer he had worn for so long. But I wasn't finished. I had one final card to play. A trump card that would ensure he never forgot the consequences of his actions. I revealed to the gathered guests the depth of his plan to poison me, to rid himself of the ugly burden he saw in me. Everyone, this man right here attempted to poison me. The crowd gasped in unison. I am not making up stories. Here is the glass. You can suspect it or investigate it if you want, because I'm certain that I'm telling the truth, and now I'm exposing all of it. Murmurs filled the entire room, and panic started to grow evident in Kevin and the maid's eyes. This man right here cheated on me multiple times. For what reason? Because I'm ugly and fat? He's a body shammer and narcissistic. And I would gladly divorce you right here and now. I don't want to be associated with you anymore, but I couldn't just leave and do nothing. I will let you suffer." Gasps of shock echoed through the room as the truth was laid bare. The guests, who had once admired him, now looked upon him with disgust and disdain. His image shattered irreparably. He tried to utter excuses, to deny his actions, but his words fell on deaf ears. With unwavering strength and composure, I turned my back on him and addressed the crowd. Once more, I thanked them for their presence on this special occasion and invited them to witness my liberation. I was no longer the victim cowering in the shadows of his cruelty. I was a woman, reborn, embracing my worth and walking away from the toxicity that had threatened to consume me. The humiliation he faced that day was a taste of the bitterness he had inflicted upon me for years. It was a lesson in empathy and kindness, a lesson he sorely needed to learn. As I walked away from his life and the life we had built, I knew that my revenge was not to cause him physical harm, but to ensure that he would never forget the consequences of his actions. I vowed to live my life fully, embrace my true self, and find happiness in my worth. And as I stepped into the world, free from the chains of his cruelty, I knew that I had finally emerged victorious, stronger than ever before. My old husband may have once hated me, but I had found a newfound love for myself, and that was a victory far sweeter than any revenge I could have sought. With each step I took away from the shattered remnants of my old life, a sense of liberation washed over me. The weight of Kevin's mistreatment and the years of anguish I endured lifted from my shoulders, replaced by a renewed sense of self-worth and a burning determination to craft a future filled with happiness and fulfillment. News of the humiliating events at Kevin's birthday party spread like wildfire through our social circles and beyond. Whispers filled the air, and the tale of his deceit and treachery became a cautionary legend, a warning against the perils of underestimating the strength and resilience of a woman scorned. As the days turned into weeks, I received an outpouring of support and encouragement from friends, family, and even strangers who had heard my story. They marveled at my courage, admired my resilience, and shared their own experiences of triumph over adversity. It was a testament to the universal resonance of the human spirit and the power of standing up against injustice. Meanwhile, Kevin faced the consequences of his actions. The once charming facade he had so carefully cultivated crumbled, leaving him isolated and ostracized. Friends distanced themselves, unwilling to associate with someone of such dubious character. The allure of the seductive maid faded as her true intentions became known, and she too faced the consequences of her malicious deeds. While revenge had been a driving force in my actions, it was not the endgame I sought. Rather, it was a means to an end, a catalyst for change, both within myself and within the society that had allowed such mistreatment to fester. The ripple effect of my revenge extended far beyond the confines of my personal life, serving as a wake-up call to others who had turned a blind eye to the suffering of those around them. Emboldened by the newfound strength within me, I channeled my experiences into a mission to raise awareness about the insidious nature of emotional abuse and the importance of self-love. I became an advocate, a voice for those who had been silenced, and a beacon of hope for those trapped in toxic relationships. My story became a source of inspiration, empowering others to find the courage to break free from their chains of suffering. In the months that followed, I dedicated myself to healing and personal growth. I surrounded myself with a support system of genuine and caring individuals who uplifted and encouraged me. Therapy became a vital tool in my journey, helping me navigate the complexities of the emotional scars that Kevin had left behind. As time passed, I began to rebuild my life piece by piece on the solid foundation of self-love and resilience. I pursued my passions, delving plunging into creative endeavors that had long been neglected, I rediscovered the vibrant woman I once was, embracing the wisdom and beauty that age had bestowed upon me. Throughout it all, Kevin remained a distant memory, a specter of the past that held no power over my present or future. The revenge I sought had accomplished its purpose, transforming me from a victim to a survivor and propelling me towards a future filled with joy and fulfillment. Looking back, I realized that the true victory in this tale was not in Kevin's humiliation, but in my liberation. I had emerged from the shadows, transcending the boundaries of societal expectations and proving that strength and resilience could thrive in the face of adversity. My old husband's hatred had indeed fueled the fire that burned within me, but it was my determination and unwavering belief in my self-worth that guided me towards a brighter future. As I basked in the warmth of my newfound happiness, I knew that I had triumphed over the darkness that had threatened to consume me, and so my story became a testament to the power of the human spirit, to the indomitable strength that resides within each one of us. It was a reminder that we are not defined by the cruelty and mistreatment of others, but by our ability to rise above it, to find the light within ourselves, and to forge our paths towards a life filled with love, compassion, and self-empowerment.